is CGTN, China Global Television Network.
我们的小时候，父亲给我们讲到非洲的人民都是一脸的笑容。我现在回想起来，还是感到很温暖的。
我父亲是有2度去非洲，代表作呢就是几内亚的人民大会堂、索马里的那个剧场。
China had the experience of overcoming colonialism, and it felt that this was an experience that was also needed by African partners in the 1950s and 60s. Many developing countries were coalescing together to articulate a new international order in which colonialism was not part of it, but development was the core.
Zhao Tian'an is the leader of a Chinese construction project here in Lesotho. He arrived in the country in December 2021, a few days before Christmas. A professional architect and photography enthusiast in his spare time, Tian'an was thrilled to see a fusion of different aesthetic styles in the country's capital, Maseru.
虽然早晚天气降温到零下，但是白天的气温很适宜，10来度，在这里生活工作都很好。
Every day on his way to work, he passes some of his favorite buildings.
约翰大教堂，也叫胜利大教堂，这是英式风格的。莱索托首相府建筑的造型外观，仿照当地的那种圆形小，他们叫做木霍的这种房子，有点民族风格。 这是我们早些年建的那个国家会议中心。
Tian'an's company, Zhongnan Engineering Corporation, is building a new hospital on the original foundation of the Queen Elizabeth II Hospital, which has been out of service since 2011.
我们现在这个医院是在伊丽莎白2世的原有的基础上，我们设计中 考虑了保留的原来的建筑的一些元素、一些符号，保留了3栋建筑。
The new hospital, the Maseru Hospital and Eye Clinic, once completed, will be a 200-bed facility with state-of-the-art medical equipment.
我们给它设了一个制氧中心，就是能够生产氧气的，包括大部分现在来说的很多医院都是没有氧气的。 通过南非或者很远的地方，用氧气罐运来以后储存在这里，再来使用，那么这个成本也高，在一个时间上都是不划算的。
It's good, you know, to finally find that there's going to be a hospital that will give services to our people. You know, no matter how far, but then if we find the services going very well prepared to the problems that we have.
The hospital that is being building, I believe it will help because there are some people that when maybe in bad accidents, they are taken to Bloemfontein.
Ke nana ihlile Lesotho le hloka
healthcare le dipetlele tse ngata ka lebaka la hore Lesotho monana ha lena dipetlele tse ngata as in like ho na le sepetlele se le seng se seholo.
As head of the design team, Tian'an talks regularly to co-workers from the Shanghai construction group who turn his designs into reality, and to Lesotho architects who consult on local preferences and cultural practices.
As of now, there's already a lot of people that are employed that on site. Each and every day we have at least more than 200 people. That is to say there's a bit of a gap that has been filled in the employment sector. So having this hospital now, it also closes the gap where now would have people being transferred to other hospitals out of the country. But now having this hospital here, it ensures that at least we have fewer people being taken out of the country and more people being treated within the country.
I think they say swimming pool is small.
I feel like even though there is a language barrier, we have worked around it. It hasn't been something that stops the knowledge to be transferred to the people. I feel like the Chinese people that are leading the project have been very patient, and they've really brought a lot of skills, and they've been teaching some of the people here, and they've been very patient in doing that. And they've really incorporated every single aspect of our culture, and also just involving our people in everything, and very also eager to learn about our culture, our language, and just everything else. Regardless of the differences, we've found a common ground place.
目前因为是疫情期间，我们跟当地的员工一起就在营地里面时间比较多，因为疫情嘛。但是他们很喜欢足球，足球就是一种世界语言。然后我们经常在院子里，在足球场一起踢足球交流。我们见面的第一句话，你知道是什么吗？我们就是说“莫喝者瓦嘎”，就是说朋友，我们是朋友，每天都是这句话，“莫喝者瓦嘎”。
Lesotho is not the first foreign country Zhao Tian'an has worked in. In 2008, he started the most important chapter of his professional life all the way across the continent in the North African country of Libya.
这个利比亚这个国家在地中海北边是地中海，地中海的对面就是意大利，然后他们受这个罗马的文化的影响，就很多罗马时候留下的遗迹。你像一个古城堡，他们的洗浴中心，就是包括那些猪啊、狼啊，都留在那里了。居民区，他们都是小院子、小院落。 不管是穷人还是富人家里，他们很大的一个特点是什么呢？他们的门，每个家的门都非常特别，小院子的门呢，精致设计，每个都不一样，这是我感到很惊讶的。
Back then, the Gaddafi administration had announced a 5,000-unit housing project in the coastal city of Zuwara. The houses were promised to low-income families for free. Tian'an's company was brought on board in the same year.
当时是2008年去，我们是开始做方案、做规划，跟当地规划局的阿比克里先生，规划局的一个负责人，他就是我们跟他沟通了3个月，然后定下来以后，然后就往下面实施了。施工的到了2011年的时候，因为当时就发生了战争嘛。 就是当时战争发生以后，一些地方武装组织，包括一些叛乱分子，他们因为看到我们中资企业里面一些设备、一些车辆，然后一些笔记本电脑这些，包括钱财钱物，他们就 破门而入，某天晚上进来以后，给我们的所有的笔记本电脑，然后包括我们的运输的车辆都抢走了。当时也是在当时利比亚的一些老乡、一些工人、好心的工人帮助下，我们就紧急撤离，就是用他们的车辆，或者他们的车辆，或者他们开我们的车辆给我们指路带路，然后经过安全的、快速的通过了这个战火区，然后到达了我们的那个使馆指定的那个保护区。
Born to an architect family, Tian'an has always attributed his career success to his father. The middle child of 3, Tian'an's earliest memory of his late father is a toy car, a present brought back from his travels, now kept as a family heirloom by his brother, Zhao Tianhu, in Changsha, China.
应该是我父亲第2次远飞回来的时候带回来的。我记得当时这个小汽车带回来的时候是非常的稀罕啊，就是在我们国内那个时候也没有看到过这样的玩具。当时很多小朋友都到家里来，我们就演示给他看。当时因为我们和非洲没有直航嘛，应该他当时那一年是法国的那个戴高乐机场转机的时候带回来的这个，所以我们后来这个玩具啊玩的一直也挺爱惜它，然后一直也是保留它。我父亲是有2度去非洲，第一次去的时候呢是1965年。到70年，他到非洲呢，主要去组织一些援非的一些建设项目。这个期间呢，代表作呢就是几内亚的人民大会堂。第2次呢，第2次去的时候是1973年到76年。这个中间呢，主要是那个索马里的那个剧场。他也讲过，我后来也从他的日记中间也了解了一些。当时他们去这个几内亚的建这个人民大会堂的时候，他们工地现场，他们施工用的水电都要自己解决，没有什么现成的，都是你自己来找电源发电啊，自己挖井啊、取水啊。其实我父亲他也不善于言谈这些东西，这过后是我从他的日记中间了解到。
In his diary, his father described in detail what it was like to see the People's Palace take shape bit by bit.
We've arrived in Conakry for the second time. 6 months apart, everything looks familiar yet strange. When we left, it was still a garbage hill full of crows. Now the sheet piles have been laid. Sheds for carpenters and cement workers are standing here, as well as the generators and warehouses. After a whole day of drilling, we now have a clearer picture of what we are building on top of. I remember when I first saw the structural foundation, which is just undersea silt, my heart sank. I panicked. But then I remember the teachings of Chairman Mao. You must get in touch with what you fear, study it, analyze it. Now I know the silt is not all mushy like I thought. It's only the surface that looks terrifying. The foundation gets firmer when it gets deeper. The proportion of gravel increases. And then at the very bottom, there's a whole layer of undersea pebbles. Now we know better about the situation of the foundation. I feel much relieved.
While in Africa,
In 1964, after visiting 10 newly independent African states, Chinese Premier Zhou Enlai initiated the country's foreign aid architecture. He proposed 8 principles as guidelines for the foreign aid. He particularly stressed that China will never attach conditions or ask for privileges for lending a helping hand. The purpose of foreign aid, he said, is not to increase the dependence of recipients on China, but rather to help underprivileged countries embark on the road to self-reliance and economic independence. In 1971, the United Nations reinstated China's lawful seat at the 26th General Assembly. Among the 76 yes votes, 26 were from African countries.
But the moment in history has arrived for the People's Republic of China to be in the United Nations.
I think the reason why China found it wise to extend assistance to Africa, despite its young development stage in the 1950s and 60s, is because, one, it was a strategic move. China was a society that was picking itself up. It was based on its population and its resources. If it got its governance right, it knew that it would be heading somewhere. And so as a major country in the world at the time, actually the largest developing country at the time, it felt it necessary to set the pace for other developing countries, most of which were found in Africa. The second one was that China had the experience of overcoming colonialism. And it felt that this was an experience that was also needed by African partners. And so it was willing, much like we see China doing today, it was willing to share its experience in overcoming the adversity of colonialism, something that made a lot of sense for the African continent because we were actually struggling a lot to overcome the challenge of colonialism. And I think the third one was moving with the trends of the time. You know, many developing countries were coalescing together to articulate a new international order in which colonialism was not part of it, but development was the core. And so these 3 reasons, in my view, provided a strong impetus for China to extend a development hand to Africa.
In Ghana, the Lekma Hospital is a governmental health facility built in 2010 as a friendship hospital between Ghana and China. The 100-bed facility serves as the municipal hospital for the Letzokuku-Krowor area and beyond. Before its construction, the area didn't have a health facility.
Lekma Hospital is a district hospital, a Ghana Health Service facility. It is a 150-bed capacity. It was built by the Chinese government as a China-Ghana friendship facility, but it's being run by Ghana Health Service. First of all, it has improved access to the residents in our catchment area. In the past, they would travel to other hospitals which were far away, but now geographically access has been shortened. Apart from that, because of the specialized services we render, they have the opportunity to receive care in almost all the disciplines in medicine.
2010年正好单位上面有一个这样的项目，一个考察的一个项目，就是到加纳去考察。当时领导上给我安排这个任务的时候，我当时也立马脑子里面就闪过了我父亲那个时候也去非洲，去2度去非洲，脑子里面就飘过那个念头，一个景象。
We have a memorandum of understanding between Lekma Hospital and 2 hospitals in China, and this collaboration has benefited us in terms of personnel training and skills transfer, equipment donation, and then academic research as well. Currently we have a set of Chinese medical team who are very specialized in medicine, internal medicine, surgery, obs and gynae, anesthesia, and what have you. And they have added on their expertise to the quality of services that we offer to our clients. I think I would like to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to the Chinese government for the collaboration that we've had, because they have really been helpful over the past 11 years. Hopefully, by the end of the year will be 12 years. So in these areas, we have really benefited from the collaboration between Ghana and China.
年的时候，我们又到了非洲的3个国家，到了肯尼亚、赞比亚、坦桑尼亚，有4所小学。其中坦桑尼亚是有2所，一个是达雷斯萨拉姆1所小学，然后一个多多马的1所小学，总共是3国4所小学。这个一个是设计考察，一个是我们的方案的一个确认。
Now retired, the former senior engineer is still passionate about work. The two brothers talk frequently through video calls.
陈震现在怎么样？在哪个市啊？
在建筑商院，每天工作是有紧的有慢，大部分都是加班，晚上都是不回来。
他是怎么上班？是开车去还是走路去吧？是应该。
嘿，你别说，我们都是走路，他现在是买了一个小电驴嘞。
哦，那方便了，那好了。
他偷偷的瞒着我们，就买了一个小电驴。 那天他那个钥匙放在桌子上面，我发现了。哎，我说这是什么东西啊？他说你发现了的，本来就不想说的人家。这95后真的是有他的想法的。
你们要给他点自由嘛，还是要有点空间嘛。
嗯。
Looking ahead to his retirement, Zhao Tian'an is making use of his time left in Lesotho to better understand the history and culture of the country, especially its architectural roots. Recently, Tian'an has been preparing a gift for the King of Lesotho. An engraved seal, or juanke, is a symbol of social status in ancient China. Viewing the hospital as his passion project, the architect is hoping the final work of his career will be inaugurated by the monarch in person.
退休之后，我还想再次来到非洲，看看那个东非大草原，看看动物世界，看看刚果的雨林，还特别想去几内亚，看看我父亲他们当时原建的一些基础设施啊。然后我还想走我们以前在利比亚，重新再看一看他们的一些罗马的一些古迹啊，这些地中海边上，我再想去走一走，看一看。